Good morning. Today's Friday the 12th of January 2024 and I'm going to go through my pre-market trading plan and some insights into what I'm watching for today. Before I do that, let's look at the economic calendar. Today we've had PPI. That was at 8:30. We saw a bit of a green candle in the market. We'll look at that in a second. And we've got a Fed speaking at 10, so just be a bit wary if you're going to trade at 10, that's in 1 hour's time. Okay, so on my screen is the 1 hour time frame for the MES or the ES micros E-mini S&P 500 index futures, basically the S&P index futures. We are looking at the hourly time frame and I've not really analysed it today. Let's get rid of this, we don't need that now, although it still seems to be holding some significance. Okay, so I've got a couple of levels. We've got all-time highs, rejection, 48, 38 through to 41, and we can watch here for a potential double top for it to come back down. If we grind up slowly and we have lots of little candles just grinding up, then I think it's going to break the all-time high and we're going to watch for the break, the pullback and then the re-entry, break and retest of all-time highs. All-time highs is not the level I've got, that's just an area, more recent area to watch for reject. All-time highs is at 48, 42 area, so that's the area we're watching, 48, 41, 50, I believe that's all-time highs, yeah. So that's the area we're watching right up here. So this is an area to be wary of. So two plays at this area. It's the rejection with confirmation because we are going against the trend still. Despite the red day yesterday, we are still in an uptrend. And whether we make it through, pull back, but that's kind of what we're watching for. But we could equally just reject it at that point and come back down. So that's the only position I'm watching for, a reject. And obviously a break and retest. Still got plenty of volume up there as well. And the next area I'm watching for a bounce will be this area here, and that is between 447 to 477, 4770 to 4777, 4777. That area here. Got the 200 moving average, which is curving and downwards, and I want to see it to come down. I'd like to see a big move like this, and with a potential candle, it looks a little bit like this candle. That's what I'm looking for, a reversal candle in through this level. So whether we see something like this with a bottom tail and then a confirmation, we can either, I'll be looking to take a starter entry around there at this low. Potentially we could be watching down here as well. So, but we've got a defined stop. We've got a higher risk stop here or a higher, less riskier stop there. So two areas to play. And that's what I'm looking for, the bounce. And we're going to hopefully use the strength for the 200 moving average for the bounce as well. And volume wise, we've got relatively high volume in this area, but not as much as we want to see. We do need to get down through this level first in yesterday's bounce point. And well, that's a pre-market bounce point, which is quite a lot of volume as well. One of the two volume spikes that stands out the most. That one, this one up here, so it'll be this volume on this area of demand, and we've got a volume spike down here at this price around 47.50, which you can see based on this area, which gets me into my next level I'm watching as well, will be the rejection, or I meant the bounce from this area here. So if we come back down into 47.60, it's been on watch for a few days, I'll be looking for a bounce around that area there. This is a harder one because there's no defined stop loss unless we put in a bit of a pivot like that, and then we've got a defined stop loss. So this will be just playing and waiting for confirmation. I think that's it really. That's the short, the longer term areas to watch for bounces as well. You can see on screen these areas of demand, but we've got a lot to move. We had the CPI yesterday put in this big bar here. We had PPI today, which put in this bar, not quite as big, and it hasn't really broken any levels. I suppose nor did yesterday's. Well, yesterday's kind of touched a level, but we haven't really seen anything spectacular from that. I don't know what the news was. I don't really play the news and nor know or care what it means. I'm just looking at the chart, technical analysis of the chart. That's it really. There's no real, the levels are not that great to be honest. So it'll be a day of being patient, waiting for these areas, and maybe not taking any trades. And that's it for MES. Let's take a look at SPY. Pretty much the same with one difference. Instead of taking the highs of here, I'm going to be watching for all-time high at 47, 479.98 or 480 basically. So if it gets up to here, I'll be looking for a rejection. Maybe we can play the break and retest of yesterday's highs. And the same, and maybe the bounce at 472. Break and retest at 470, 477, maybe that area for the long. And then we got the bounce down the same as MES at 470. So that's all I'm watching really. And if we do get down to the 470 area for the bounce, which is what we've been watching for a few days, we've got this point of control as well. So this zone, this entire zone actually, I've got it marked out as levels, and it's actually the two highest volume areas as well. So potentially looking for a bounce around at 470.30. One thing I've not looked at is the daily volume from yesterday. So look at that, above average volume. Bottomed out a little bit of weakness. Wasn't really. It's not showing a big solid green candle yesterday. We had extra volume come in as well. Doesn't look like ending volume. If you look at ending volume, you can see it here. Almost twice the height. So that's something to watch out for when we're waiting for the next time we get a big volume spike, and that'll be probably coming in. Hopefully we see a reversal candle at the same time. Looks a bit like that. And then that could potentially show a change of trend. Daily still definitely on the uptrend, so watching the higher time frames is important. We're still in an uptrend. We haven't really proven anything yet. Got this double top. Maybe we might see that, but we're looking on the daily. We're still strong, and there's no signs of us wanting to fail or at least change trend just yet. It's a few little clues, but not much. And then SPY on the daily. Hammer candle at an end of a trend. If we saw it down here or down here, then that's showing that it's change of reversal. At end of a change could signify weakness. Still below average volume as well, but unfinished business at all-time highs. Potentially, if it can get up here, we could watch for the reject. That's why I quite like it. And kind of declining volume as well. It's been declining volume since here, so all these candles are declining. One to note, this candle here is less volume than the previous day candle, and that's a solid green, supposed to be a strong candle, but it's showing a weaker volume, a weaker amount of volume on twice the size. If you compare this candle and this candle volume wise, and then look at the size of this candle, it's twice the size, but the volume's nowhere near twice the volume. So this is potential an anomaly. It might be the first signs of weakness. This could be the second signs of weakness. A hammer candle, that's from yesterday. So keep an eye on it. We may see a big spike through the all-time highs and reject. That's why I quite like watching for the rejection. Look at Qs. All-time highs, some way off at the moment. This is an area of supply here. got that supply zone. I'm going to make a change. I want to take that area there. So if we get into 412, that could be a good rejection area. Double top as well. Again, I was only looking at these values here with that line and the tops of these candles and bottoms of these candles, but it just happens to be where we came up last time. So second time may not be as effective, so we may see a little bit of a pullback, but maybe a wait to break through. So higher risk rejection at 412. Still like the bounces around this area. 405 for a bounce. Nothing there now. Potentially around this area, 401 to 402 for another bounce. That's just based on that pivot there. But it's not it's not a great area. It's low volume as well. And then, but I prefer, this is the area to watch, 400 exactly to 399.30. A little bit more volume, not much, but it's a significant area. You know, it proved it's significant there. Came back, retested, and we broke through. We've yet to come back round and retest that area. 400 is a psychological number as well. That's the only areas on Qs, Nasdaq. The same really, just watching for a bounce at 16,762. And this area here, which is 16,577 or 16,600, this area for a bounce. Rejection, same as before, we've got this area of supply. Let's draw it in. Another area of supply up here as well, but we've tested that area already, so let's focus on the next area. And we've got all-time highs as well. Let's mark that in as well. So rejection of all-time highs, 17,164, and then look for rejection around 17,120, 17,110 into this area of supply. And we've got our bounce areas down here. That's it. And then bounce at 16,762 and a bounce at 16,577. MCL. We'll look at the daily first, see where we are with the daily. Kind of basing around it at the bottom. Really want to get back down to this area, but maybe we've missed that opportunity. But we've got the break of that pivot. So if we break that pivot, come back and retest it, 76 to 77, then that's a potential long short. We've not put in a new low, and it's a higher low as well. So potentially we might be seeing a bit of a change of trend. So we had this supplies and this demand zone in since July time. I think we put it in there, and been watching it since. Kind of worked once. I missed that entry. I was being probably too finicky, 67.20. But if it does come back down to it, I'll be looking to go long. But from what I see on the daily, potentially we could be seeing something like that, which is a clear reversal sign. Increase in volume as well. So increase in volume all the way through that area. I'll just keep an eye on that. You know, we saw the ending volume here. Ending volume coming down in this area here. So that was a sign that we were getting to the end of this downtrend. And I failed to pick up on it. But keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on volume. So looking at the hourly for play today. Yeah, probably where we are right now. This isn't bounce area. We bounce off of this area consolidation. I mean, we haven't bounced, we came back down to it. So we can look for an entry over here. $74.04, maybe look to go long, around about 74 upwards. But probably need confirmation on maybe the 15 or the 5. There's no confirmation yet, but look at this for a volume candle coming in. High volume candle, ending volume potentially. So it's almost as much volume as we had yesterday on the open. Was that near the open? No, that was the CPI candle. So maybe if we break over 74.20, we can look for a buy setup. Be a decent play. I think that's the only play. That's a 15-minute. 5-minute looks like this. Yeah, over the VWAP. It's got to get above that bar. This is a control bar. That's the one which we're watching to break above. And that's good confirmation for the move back up. Bear in mind we've got the curving 50 moving average as well, so it might be high, but all the volumes below, we're right at the point of control, right on the 200. So now is a good entry area. Okay, let's look at gold. 1 second. Gold's broken out for one of the levels I was watching. Quite a significant area, point of control just below. So if it comes back down to retest, we could see a potential long round here, but the retest could come right down into this point of control. So I'm going to put an alert in around there. Gets down to there, I'll probably be interested in going long. So 2052 to 2056 for a long play, and then we've got a lot of volume coming through. You can see that on this point volume profile. Not much volume until we get up to this pivot, so that's a potential target here. Let's put the target in 2071. That's the only play I can see. Maybe a reject if we get up to there. That's where the volume starts coming in. So the reject would be, let's draw it in. That's our reject area there. There's other areas as well, but that's the next one available, next one closest. And that's where basically the supply zone is where we had the biggest reaction afterwards. Yeah, well, that's it really. Break and retest at that level, long or reject up here. I'm going to look at the Russell 2000 index futures. This is quite a new ticker I'm watching. I'm not currently playing, but I'm watching it, just getting used to how it plays, getting used to the levels. Probably same levels as yesterday. A bounce down here. That trend line, we see we broke through, the trend line didn't hold. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Simplify it. So we can watch for the reject up here. If we do get up here, we'll be over the 200 moving average, potentially looking for a more bullish move up. But we could watch for the reject. Rejected once, rejected twice. Third time may not be as effective. But we could, higher probability maybe to break and retest on this area long. And we might have to wait for the 200 moving average to start curving around as well. But that's the only level I can see. And if we do pull right back down, then a bounce around this area. Got a defined stop as well, so wait for confirmation. 2 defined stops really, but this is the area. The volume, however, is right below us. So you can see from this volume profile, we've got, let's just draw it in. If I take the two biggest volume candles either side of it as well, that's our area of volume. So potentially we could be looking for an entry round here for a move up. But if it breaks back down, we could be looking for a break and retest short as well. But it's going sideways. We need it to break these areas just to find out what trend, which way it wants to go. So not much on M2K. And then the Russell, the Dow Jones, the Dow Jones Industrial, which is the M or the YM. Again, it's not much. I can't see anything really unless it breaks over that or breaks below this area. So I won't be interested in that unless we can see some sort of trend. There's nothing at the moment, it's just going sideways. Got these areas here and that area there. So $37 to $3,800 for a reject. If we can come back up to this area, reject back down to continue this sideways, or a bounce at $37.60 to $37.70. This area for a bounce. Point of control. We've got lots of volume just below that area as well. You can see that it's been a significant area. Tops of candles, tops of candles, bottoms of candles, bottoms, bottoms, tops, bottoms again, kind of bottoms there as well. So this is the area to watch for. So that's the area we want to see it break, and that number is 37,744. So I think while we're above this area, we can look for longs. We get below this area, we can look for shorts. And right now I can't see a great deal other than these extremes. Let's just draw this in. That area there is just based on the most touches I can see on the candles. And this area here, again based on the most touches, there, tops of pivots, coming across, area congestion, bottoms and tops. So these are the two areas to watch for. There's a few areas in between. This area here, and potentially this area here, but I don't like to put too much. No, I don't like that. Potentially a higher risk rejection at 37,935, but I don't like that. I'm going to get rid of that. It's going to confuse me. I want just the levels. I can see there's nothing else for that. Let's look at the MES before we go back onto the hourly. We're pretty much done. Nothing on the MES. Wait until it gets to this area for the reject. Maybe we can look for the break and retest of pre-market high, which are coming into it right now. So we'll see. Otherwise, wait for the bounce at 477, 47.76 area to 47.80. That's it. Okay. Thank you for watching.